Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. It's the 21st of April 2022, and I'm absolutely delighted to see Tesla results, which have blown the market's mind, and they have blown my mind also. I'm feeling more bullish today than bearish. Of course, it's going to wash off in a period of time, but I'm going to enjoy it today. And with that, let's get started with our daily update. First, we're going to talk about news and market moving items. Next, we are going to talk about technical analysis of all the indices and cryptocurrencies. And after that, we'll be looking at Genomic shares. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the news items. As I mentioned, Tesla came up with great results. I was absolutely surprised and really delighted when Elon Musk announced that they will probably deliver 60% more by the end of the year. That is a fantastic outlook, and he has managed to beat all the odds against supply chain constraints, the lockdown in Shanghai, and all the new gigafactories coming online and starting to produce. Absolutely 60% is achievable. That means with the stock split, the share is almost poised to regain its glory, even past the stock split. So I'm not selling any of my Tesla, and I hope you don't either. But of course, this is my personal opinion. Please do your own due diligence before making any decisions on investments. Having said that, let's look at the airline industry. All the results so far have been upbeat, and airlines have been saying that they have been able to hold the price, they have been able to hold their margins, and people are clamoring for more flights. And there are two more airlines which are going to announce their earnings today, and if both of them go the same way, I think along with Tesla, the airline industry is also going to be pushing us forward towards a more bullish outlook, in which case, even though I'm not yet ready to say that May will not see a drop, because historically May has seen a drop, but probably June onwards we should start seeing a upward move in the indices. North American gene editing industry is set to grow 24% annually for the next 9 years. However, this growth is likely to be in terms of investments and discoveries and research and all those kind of things. I don't think it's going to translate directly into increase in genomic share prices. I personally feel that genomic share prices will start showing upward movement somewhere towards the end of the second quarter and beginning of the third quarters. That's when they will start moving upwards. That is my personal opinion. And I have been checking the CRISPR website on a regular basis to see if there is any update on the CTX001 trials, and I haven't found any today either. So it's like a closely kept secret, or maybe the research has not yet revealed any data points that can conclusively enable them to talk about progress. So I'm waiting for that, and as soon as I get something, I'll let you know. The Russia-Ukraine crisis is still continuing, and it's a background noise by now, and it has an influence on the oil prices. So hopefully we can de-escalate that somewhere in the next 10 to 15 days. That will be another positive. So if the Russia-Ukraine crisis gets resolved somewhere towards close of May, then June definitely has markings for a rally going upwards. So that's where my mind is at. And next most important thing for us today is that Fed Chairman Powell is going to talk at 1 p.m. and it may move the market. So please watch out, because we have moved from 25 basis point to 50 basis point, and now there is talk of 75 basis points. So when Chair Powell talks about it, he will be offering some clarification, and various market participants will act according to their beliefs, and that could create a bit of volatility around 1 p.m. So watch out for that. With that, let's go and have a look at our indices and cryptocurrencies and other things. Okay, let's get started with US oil. US oil is up 1.58%, and it has now got the support of the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average, apart from the 50 and the 100-day. So it's going really strong, and it would definitely face some kind of a resistance going forward, somewhere around this level out here. And we'll have to see what happens at that stage. So right now the MACD is bullish and the momentum is picking up. So oil is definitely on the upward move. And if we look at the VIX, this is the live VIX. We are looking at this more because it's giving us a live status. It's more closely aligned with S&P 500. The one that is really aligned with Nasdaq is this one, VXN. But it's not a live feed, so I find it much more convenient to look at VIX out here. So our live feed shows that we are struggling at the support of 19.75. Right now we are at 19.87. So if we were to break down today and go below this, and convert 19.75 into a resistance, that will be a precursor for more bullishness and return to a much better market condition. When I look at the MACD, it is pointed downwards and moving towards the signal line in a bearish manner. So that's a good sign. And momentum is also dropping. That's also a good sign. So if VIX goes down, naturally QQQ is going to go up. So before we go to look at QQQ, let us look at PCC. It's below 1 and it's slightly bullish. So we are in a good condition out there. If we look at the S&P 500, it's absolutely strong and has moved up. And our MACD is also on the verge of crossing over the signal line in a bullish manner. Momentum is also picking up. So S&P 500, the broader market is indicating a really, really good health. Now, in this context, if we look at QQQ, QQQ is also up 1.86%, and our resistance of 344.83 has now been converted into a support. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark this as a support and make it green. So that is 344.63 is going to be our support. And our next resistance is at 348.09, which is this orange exponential moving average for 20 days. And we need to break through that. Our MACD is bearish, but moving towards the signal line. But it's still not in the stage that we find S&P 500 in. S&P 500 is very close to crossing over. Our momentum is below average and picking up, whereas in S&P 500, it's already above average and moving. So the broader market is stronger and Nasdaq is slightly weaker, but it's trying to catch up. That's what I would glean from this. And now let us go on to have a look at our crypto sector and see what we have there. We generally look only at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is also moving up smartly. Each of these candles is a one-day candle, and you can see the MACD is poised to cross over the signal line in a bullish manner, and momentum is above average and picking up. So right now, we have set up ourselves for challenging the resistance at 43,208. Right now, Bitcoin is at 42,914.3. So we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 continuous days of green candles, including today. And we are right now between the support of 41,356 and resistance of 43,208.6. So I'm thinking that today we'll touch the 43,000 mark, and our diagonal line of support, which has been with us for the longest time, continues to be there. It continues to provide us with a support along a bullish channel, which is demarcated by this red line of resistance on the top and green line of support at the bottom. So we are doing well so far in Bitcoin, and this is also kind of loose correlation between Bitcoin and Nasdaq. So if Nasdaq does well, Bitcoin invariably does well, but tends to fall during the weekend. So we'll see what happens with that, and we go on to gold. Gold is down minus 0.66%, and gold is moving and consolidating between the range of 1920 and 1984. So for swing traders, it will be a good opportunity to buy gold when it approaches 1918 with the idea of selling it off at 1984. The MACD is crossed over on the bearish side and it's going down, and momentum is also falling right now. So everything bodes well for Nasdaq today. So it's a bullish day for Nasdaq. So here we are with our crypto charts, and look at the watch list. It's so beautiful. It's mostly green. We have 3 companies in the red, and I'm not worried about them because they're all established pharma, except for IMTX. Everyone else has got solid business case, so I'm not too much worried about them. DNA is leading the pack with 3.85% gain, and we are just about made 9 and 20-day exponential moving average into a support. That's a great move. MACD is also bullish and moving away from the signal line. Momentum is just about average and picking up. DNA is looking good today. Teladoc is up 2.56%, and we are trying to break through the 9-day exponential moving average along with the diagonal red line of resistance. It's a very strong resistance, and there's a valiant effort going on with Teladoc. And MACD is bearish but moving towards the signal line, and momentum is below average but picking up. So given the overall market sentiments, I think Teladoc will end positive today. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 2.18% and still firmly between the red candle of yesterday. So we need to go past that, and we need to cross the 9-day exponential moving average, which is our immediate resistance. MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line, and momentum is slightly picking up. So CRISPR is struggling to stay positive. Given the broader market sentiment, today it may end up positive. Intelia is up 2.43%. Again, we are trying to break through this resistance of 56.47, which is this horizontal line. Once we do that, that will be converted into a support, and our next resistance will be the 9-day exponential moving average. So there's a lot of headwinds for Intelia, and we have got a MACD which is bearish but tending towards the signal line, and momentum which is very weak but slightly picking up. If the overall market sentiment remains good, and if Fed Powell doesn't spook the market and make it go down, we may end up positive for Intelia today. The same thing applies for all the genomic stocks that we have here. Editas is up 1.11%, and I'm going to mark this resistance at 15.37 now as a support because we have crossed over it, and that's become a support for us. And the 9-day exponential moving average sitting at 16.72 is the next resistance for us. Right now we are at 15.61. The MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line, whereas the momentum is picking up. So the picking up of the momentum gives me some hope, along with the overall market sentiment, that will end positive or flat today for Editas. Allogene is up 1.26%, and we have got resistance from the 9-day exponential moving average. We also have a MACD which is bearish but tending towards the signal line with momentum below average but picking up. So I'm not very sure what's going to happen with Allogene today. If positive sentiment remain the way it is, then probably we'll end up positive. Otherwise, there's a good chance that we may go into the negative. PACB is up 0.78%, and our 9-day exponential moving average is our next resistance. MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line. It has done that twice before, so I'm not very sure about it. Momentum is also very low. So PACB doesn't seem to be great today, despite the overall sentiments. Beam is up 1.76%, and we are still within this bearish channel, and that's the good news. 9-day exponential moving average is our next resistance. MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line, and momentum is below average and just about picking up. So I would be happy if Beam can close positive today. ARCG is up 1.01%, and our support is at 36.41, and resistance is at 42.33, which is the 9-day exponential moving average, the yellow line out here. MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average but picking up slightly. ARCG could probably end the day flat or red if anything happens after Fed Powell's speech. Otherwise, it could end up flat. That's my opinion. Illumina is up 1.80%, and we have support from the 9-day and 20-day exponential moving average, which is the greatest positive for today. And our MACD is tending towards the signal line. It has made good progress today, and our momentum is above average and picking up. So Illumina will end up positive today, and it's doing very well. Bluebird is up 0.47, and 9-day exponential moving average is going to be our constraint, which is at 4.43. So we are likely to end below 4.43 today. MACD is bearish and tending towards the signal line in a bullish manner, and momentum is below average but slightly picking up. So Bluebird could probably end up flat or negative today if anything happens after Fed Powell's speech. Caribou Biosciences is up 0.73%, and it has made the 9-day exponential moving average into a support. And now we are facing a resistance from the 20-day exponential moving average, which happens to be at 8.56. Right now we are at 8.26. So I'm thinking that we'll end the day below 8.26. And our MACD is almost ready to cross over to the signal line, and momentum is below average but picking up. So Caribou Biosciences will either end flat or positive today. Verve is down minus 1.36%, and 9-day exponential moving average is constraint, and MACD is bearish, and momentum is also falling. So Verve is likely to end up negative today. IBB, which is our overall outlook for the biotech and genomics market, is showing a drop of minus 0.12%, which is a very marginal drop. We are still above the bullish support line, the green support line that we have, which was the resistance for the earlier bearish channel. So that's a good thing. And we are constrained by the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average jointly. And that's going to be a big resistance for IBB to cross today. But given the results of Tesla and the airlines, overall, I think the market sentiment will carry it through to either a flat or a positive ending for the day. And when I look at Vertex is down minus 0.22%, which is very marginal. And I'm not too much worried about Vertex. It's just consolidating. This is a very good sign. As long as we are above this diagonal line of support, I'm happy with Vertex. MACD is very close to signal line and ready to cross over to the bearish side. Momentum is overbought, and that's the problem that we have there. RSI is overbought and momentum needs to cool down a little bit before we can go up further. So it's all signaling towards consolidation in the next 2 or 3 days and then a pickup. And Novartis is down minus 0.48%. We have support from this horizontal green line out here, which is at 90.63. And we have a constraint from the 9-day exponential moving average, as well as 91.29, which is this horizontal support, which now becomes a resistance. And as a result of that, we have our 20-day exponential moving average being the next support after the horizontal support. Now, our MACD is already crossed over to the bearish side and moving away from the signal line. Momentum is above average and falling. So I'm hoping that when we touch the 20-day exponential moving average, we'll be able to bounce back. That's my hope. Regeneron is down minus 0.58, and it is still under this bearish downward line that is kind of marking a pennant. And I'm just going to modify my pennant and put it down here. So I'm still optimistic that we are going to break above this and go further. And our line, which was here, the bullish line, has now become a resistance. So I'm going to mark it as a resistance. It has got 3 points of support, so we can't move it any further. So it's a resistance now, and we'll have to see whether we continue bouncing along this diagonal red line out here, which I'm going to convert into green to show support. And the MACD is bearish and moving away from the signal line. Momentum is above average but dropping. So I'm hoping that since we are cooled off on the RSI and the overall market sentiment is good, so today we might probably see a turnaround for Regeneron, even though it may not go positive, but it will probably turn around and end the day with a much lesser loss. And next we go on to IMTX, which is up 0.95%. And we still have resistance from 8.80. We have been consolidating sideways. So hopefully this consolidation is going to help us to jump up. Momentum has fallen below average, so I'm not very hopeful. MACD is moving away from the signal line in a bearish manner. IMTX doesn't look great today. It's likely to lose more. Pfizer is down minus 1.02%, having a resistance at 49.83, which has been difficult for us to surmount in the last 2 days. As you can see, we had gone up and come back down. So this is becoming a point of weakness. There is a lot of sellers out here. MACD is also bearish and moving away from the signal line. And momentum is also below average and dropping. So Pfizer is going to lose more today. So that's all I have for the genomic shares today. Overall, it seems to be a positive day. And I'm happy with the Tesla results and the airline results. So hopefully I would be able to take some profits today. Of course, I'm not going to sell Tesla, but I would probably sell other shares that I have and gather some profits and wait for the drop in May and get back into the game. So that's from me. If you like this video, please don't forget to put a like there. It helps YouTube to show it to other people and they may discover our channel. And I'm very thankful to all our subscribers and also to Inf for pushing us over 400. And if you have not yet subscribed and you're new here, please subscribe and join our community and help us grow this channel for everything to do with CRISPR. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.